Good evening. Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live. This live is focused on the CLAT 2026 prep. A lot of you already started your CLAT 2026 prep. This live is focused on your verbal prep, on how and where to begin. So the chat is open. If you have any apprehensions, any doubts, kindly use the chat. Let me know what is your progress. How are you planning to start? Okay, if you are completely lost, let me guide you. Okay, let me guide you really quick. Okay, what should be your plan in the initial first few months and how you should progress from there. Okay, first of all, you have to understand how CLAT works. Okay, CLAT is an aptitude exam. Okay, it does not test what you know, but it is how you think. Okay, not what you know, but how you think and how you assess certain things and assess certain topics and your critical and logical reasoning skills, right? So that is how the exam functions, and those are the primary skills that are tested through the CLAT exam. So what is your job? Your job is to build on those. Okay, your job is to build the foundation for those skills. क्योंकि क्लैट तो निकल जाएगा, क्लैट के बाद भी सर्वाइव करना है. ओके, कॉलेज भी सर्वाइव करना है, कॉलेज ग्रेजुएट भी करना है, जॉब भी सर्वाइव करना है. सो दीज आर सम बेसिक नॉन नेगोशिएबल स्किल्स दैट यू नीड टू हैव. व्हाट आर दोस? Basic reading skills. Okay, bare minimum reading skills. Just go and just watch a movie, or just watch a vlog or anything of a lawyer. Okay, a life in a lawyer's um, day-to-day life of a lawyer. You realize the amount of text they consume. Okay, they have to read a lot. A lot has to be researched, and not just reading, but also puzzles have to be solved. Okay, you have to solve a case, of course. You have to solve the puzzle, and hence your logical reasoning skills also are tested through the CLAT exam. So you need to start building on those right away. How do you do that? Obviously, you read. I mean, anywhere and everywhere you go, whatever video, whatever mentor, whatever organization you join, the only thing a verbal mentor is going to tell you for the CLAT prep is read. Now, why? We know how the CLAT paper is designed, right? Everything entirely, every question is designed through a reading comprehension passage. Even math, okay, even GK. They are all designed after a reading comprehension passage, which you have to read and then solve the questions. So, obviously, just to solve the paper, you need to have a basic reading speed and a basic reading skills. But the verbal section, which is verbal reasoning and English language section, that comprehends that concludes almost 40% of the entire paper, right? That comprises of almost 40% of the entire paper. So I mean, you have to score that 40% marks. That's almost like 40 to 50 marks, right? Now, to score those marks, you need to obviously sharpen your reading skills. Now, how does one do that? I think enough with the ranting of you need to read, but how do I start? Okay, now to be honest, you don't really need to solve like 100 RCs, or you need to read like 100 books to master the art of reading and the art of comprehension. Absolutely not. You can just pick one text. Okay, it's one article, maybe just one little book, a novel, a novella, anything, but read it in such a way that actually improves your comprehension level. Okay, that you actually understand the inside and the outside of the text. ठीक है, सिर्फ पढ़ना नहीं है. You have to read it in such a way that you understand the pulse of the text. Okay, in this way you cut down almost 50% of your work. Okay, you just have to read merely 50% of the original text that you were going to originally read. Okay, here always quality matters over quantity. Read them in such a way that your skills are being improved with less number of practice questions. Okay, so you don't have to solve 100 RCs till the date of your exam, or 500 RCs. You can just solve 50, but if you do them really well, only then will it benefit you. Okay, now just to get into the habit of reading, a small little guide. Okay, you can start with short stories. We have a lot of good Indian authors who have been writing short stories. You can pick their anthologies. Okay, you can pick Murakami, any Asian writers, American writers. Just pick writers that you can access. मतलब जो पढ़े जा सकते हैं, that you can access, and then slowly gradually increase and challenge yourself with more complex text. Okay, pick short stories. Then you can probably move to smaller novellas. Okay, they're thin books. Okay, they have everything, the entire plot schema, everything, but they're very concise in length. Then you can probably move to fiction books and then to non-fiction books. Right now, this is a trajectory of somebody who's trying to get into reading and wants to fall in love with reading, because every lawyer should be in love with reading. Okay, that is how you survive this realm, okay, this profession, which is through reading. So this is how you get into reading. Now you just don't have to read, you also have to understand the pulse of the text. Now what do I mean by pulse? You have to understand the intention of the author. Why was the text written in the first place? Okay, you have to understand the mood of the author. किस मूड से लिखा गया है, what is the tone of the author, okay, what are certain arguments that he is putting forth or he is putting against something. Okay, certain vocabulary, rich vocabulary is used, right? What is the meaning? How is it used? Try to understand the sentence structure, the semantics of the text. Sentence structure is the grammar. Okay, so not just vocabulary, even grammar. Now, grammar, the more you know about grammar rules, the higher your comprehension goes. I mean, reading and CLAT is not independent of grammar. हाँ, हम कहते हैं ना कि grammar questions नहीं आते, तो let's not prepare for grammar. Grammar and your accuracy and your understanding of the English language and its grammar rules directly impacts your comprehension. Okay, so do finish your grammar rules, at least know the basic rules. Okay, when to use a pronoun, what type of pronouns, what is this and that, what is the difference between this and that. Okay, what are articles, the difference between articles, difference between the and a, right? All of this impacts your comprehension. Okay, because a के बाद जो सेंटेंस है और द के बाद जो सेंटेंस है, इन दोनों में बहुत फर्क है, और इन दोनों के डिफरेंस में ही कहीं मेन आइडिया होता है, कहीं ऑथर का छुपा हुआ आर्ग्यूमेंट होता है. इन्हीं दोनों में मे बी यू कैन स्ट्रेंथन द आर्ग्यूमेंट समवेयर, वीकन द आर्ग्यूमेंट समवेयर, right? So to improve your comprehension, you just not need to have the basic reading skills, okay, but also a very rich vocabulary. Okay, everybody knows the Bible for vocabulary, which is your Norman Lewis. It truly is the Bible, and it's actually a fun Bible. Okay, it's not really an instructional manual, but it's a very fun way to learn vocabulary, because there's so many games he has designed for you to improve your vocabulary. So that is like your that's a non-negotiable, and it's not just you solve it once and you keep it aside. The more times you solve it, the more words you retain and more root words you learn, and the richer your vocabulary gets. Okay, and ये जो हम demonize करते हैं ना, vilify करते हैं ना vocabulary को, कि डरता है, हमें बहुत घबराता है उसको देख के, वो नहीं होगा. Okay, so this one anxiety will be solved if you just solve it once. Okay, just solve one session and then let me know, come back to the comments and let me know how did you feel. In just one session, I guarantee you, you will learn 20 to 30 new words, fresh words. Because it's actually a very good tool for improving vocabulary. I don't want you to go to any other place except for that. Third is your grammar. Okay, improve your grammar. Okay, start with basic. First of all, understand why grammar exists. What is the basics of language? Okay, what are the basics of grammar? There are 8 parts of speech. I've made a video on it. Go watch it, because everything in grammar is made of those 8 parts of speech, and then everything is then expanded from them. Now you understand the basics of language. It is very sad, okay, that you need to understand a foreign language to study Indian law, but it's a universal way to access a common subject, hence the law is taught in English. So you need to understand the semantics, you need to understand English language in general. Okay, so um, everything, you need to understand the inside out of the English language. So that goes from technicalities of the language to the insides of the language. Okay, so the covert to expressions. So for that you need to understand the logic behind it. So you need to understand what is inferences, what are assumptions, okay, what are some things that author is saying but is not really saying. Okay, that is hidden. Okay, that's very poetically expressed. So all of that will directly improve your comprehension of any text in general. Okay, your goal is not to solve 100 RCs or 300 RCs. No, Your goal is to improve your comprehension. Now that is up to you. You can improve your comprehension with merely 10 rcs, or you can do 100 rcs and still be, not very good at comprehension. So always put quality over quantity. All right, now I hope you've understood the aim of this practice. Now how I want you to practice is just basically pick up a book, okay, read articles. You already have started reading newspaper, read editorials, and seriously truly understand the intent of the article, the intention, the aim behind writing those, the purpose of it, the summary of it, the main idea of it, the arguments in the editorials or in the book, everything. Read very limited number, but give enough time to one text and see the quality, okay, and see the improvement in yourself after you do those practices, okay. And kindly come back to this same video and let me know. Okay. After merely 5 texts, you will realize how comfortable you are getting with the art of reading. Truly. Okay. I do not want you to vilify, I do not want you to demonize reading. I really want you to fall in love with it, and this is how you do. Okay. I don't want you to pick up complex text. Just pick up whatever you want. Okay. Pick up Geronimo Stilton, honestly, if that is what your cup of tea is. But don't delay it. Start your CLAT 2026 prep ASAP. All right, that was it. I do not want to extend my lecture and repeat the same things over and over. I hope you've understood the gist and the intent of this live, and I hope you've taken away something very significant, and you start your prep ASAP, and use the comment box to update me. Okay, if this really helped you, okay, how much you've started reading, what have you picked up, okay, on your modus operandi, everything. Okay, use that comment box for good. All right. I think I will be constantly seeing you live around the evenings, around 5 to 7. I will constantly be having these live sessions. So you can come and join me. You can use the chat to communicate with me live. Okay. You can also put forth any topics that you would want me to take the future lives on. All right. That was it. Thank you so much for joining.